Hey, hey, come on in, you guys.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Hey, I'm Ted.
Victor.
Victor?
I'm Amy.
Amy, nice to meet you guys. I wanted to surprise you a little bit, so I didn't tell you a whole lot about it. We're gonna interview you guys, and there's no right or wrong answer.
Really?
All right, let's walk over there. Just get comfy. Actually, you're gonna need to get really comfy because I'm leaving. Instead of me interviewing you, I thought it'd be fun if you interviewed each other. Why don't one of you sit right here and you just ask each other these questions?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Have serious fun. This core 4 habit as well, it's fun. So to start us off, let's go all the way back to the beginning of your relationship. When you were dating, what'd you do for fun?
When we were dating, what did we do for fun?
Basically taking whatever little time we had. When I was upset, we'd go to those swings at the park. That was always good.
Oh, we would go to the beach, and we were good loungers. Just go to the beach for the afternoon and just be. And we were great at that.
We used to go eat. We loved eating.
Oh, yeah.
And
We like to
then
eat a lot.
eating all the time. Walks down by the river. Remember we were in Tulsa, walking down on the river side.
I already had 2 kids, of course, so they kind of like took over as far as our priorities went. So we didn't
That
really
worked
have.
for me. I don't know what you're talking about.
We took them to the circus, you know, to the movies, and hung out at parks and the playground and stuff like that. I mean, because they've always been our, you know, our center. So.
Yes, while we all have different definitions of what it means to have fun in our marriage, make no mistake about it. Before we got married, most of us hoped that our future spouse would be fun, and they hoped that we would be fun. Why? Because fun is fun. It leads to joy and laughter and connection, the things we want in our marriage. But here's the question. Is fun in your marriage essential, or is it extra? Sure, we all like fun. Every time we have fun as a couple, we say, oh, we should do that more. But it's easy to think that there's other things in our life that are so much more important than having fun as a couple. And these things that seem more important than fun actually become barriers to our fun.
What are the barriers that keep us from having fun as a couple?
Probably just the monotony of life.
Not enough time, like that you really just kind of make the time to spend time together, hang out. Not having enough creativity, financial, I guess, obligations with, you know, other family members.
W-O-R-K. Work. I don't think you can say we work a lot. I think you can say we work and then we eat and sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, those people that live at our house.
You might want to explain who those people are.
Our kids.
Our kids.
16, 13, and 11. And they require a lot.
There are a lot of barriers to having fun as a couple. Plus, most of us, we don't wake up in the middle of the night worried that we aren't going to have enough fun in our marriage. We think of fun as something extra. It's easy to see that fun is something that can wait, something we can do when work is not as hectic, when the kids are older, when we retire, when we stop arguing so much, maybe when we have more money. But studies show that having fun in your marriage, it can't wait. Research shows that fun in your marriage isn't extra, it's essential. That's why the core 4 habit to have serious fun is a big part of becoming your best us. The core habit of having serious fun not only comes from research, but God's direction of how we should do marriage. In fact, the seemingly lighthearted habit to have serious fun comes from a pretty serious passage. In fact, I wish it came from another passage, because ironically, this passage is not always fun to talk about. It comes from Proverbs 5, which was written by Solomon. Solomon asked God for one thing, wisdom, and God gave it to him. That's why Solomon is believed to be by many as the wisest man who ever lived other than Jesus. These verses not only paint the picture of the importance of fun, sex, and intimacy, they also show you how to protect your marriage from the most serious of issues, even the big ones, like adultery. You may be thinking, hold on, we were just talking about fun and now you're talking about adultery? Yes, again, this seemingly light-hearted habit of having serious fun comes from a very heavy passage. But that's actually fantastic because it shows us that having serious fun is essential and it simply can't wait, which should actually get us pretty excited because fun is the great part of our marriage. In these verses, Solomon is warning his sons to protect themselves and their marriage by staying away from adultery. But this passage can also be applied to other things that are destructive to our life, like the constant pursuit of power and possessions. So for 14 verses, Solomon tries to scare the pants on his sons. Here's a few of those verses. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you lose your honor to others and your dignity to the one who is cruel. Proverbs 5:7-9. Solomon's passionate warning about adultery actually brings something great to the surface because it speaks to the fact that most of us are designed to crave a very deep and emotional sexual relationship with one other person. And this craving in us is beautiful. But here's the catch. This craving doesn't take a vacation. It's always with us. It's in us. It goes with us to work. It goes with us to the gym. It goes with us to the cul-de-sac. It goes with us online. It goes with us when we're with our spouse and when we're not. Now, am I saying we should be scared of this desire? No, I'm just saying we should respect it. And most of all, we should enjoy it with our spouse, which is what Solomon tells us to do in these next few verses. He says this, he says, drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your springs overflow into the streets, your streams of water into the public squares, let them be yours alone, never to be shared with strangers. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth. A loving doe, a graceful deer, may her breast satisfy you always. May you ever be intoxicated with her love. If you've ever thought the Bible was boring, now you know better. So, how do you protect your marriage from other love affairs with people, possessions, and power? You enjoy your marriage. In fact, maybe the best way to protect your marriage is to enjoy your marriage. Let me just say that again. The best way to protect your marriage is to enjoy your marriage. This great need to connect, enjoy each other, this habit to have serious fun, it's not extra, it's essential, which is really good news because again, it's what we hope for our marriage, and I believe it's what we still long for our marriage. Fun is the good stuff of marriage, and fun is essential to your marriage. But how do we have fun as a married couple in the real world? A world that is full of fun barriers that are not optional, like work and kids. Let's start by saying what fun is not. Fun, despite depictions in stock photography, is not perfect-looking couples doing perfect-looking things in perfect-looking locations. I feel quite sure if I tried to ride a bicycle with Nancy on the handlebars, we would both die. Thank goodness fun doesn't require that, because fun doesn't require perfection. Fun requires participation. Determine what you both like to do, and then do it. Do you like to take walks together, go out to eat, shop, play tennis, binge watch a TV show? Find what you like to do as an us. It only has to work for your us. But once you decide what to do, you have to get really practical. We all do. We need to schedule fun. We have to make time for fun just like we make time for other things. Even the things we don't want to do, like going to the doctor or soccer practice 4 nights a week. We have to make time to have serious fun. But how do we do that in the real world? Think about it. The things that happen in our lives are the things where we take the necessary steps to fill in the following 5 blanks: the who, the what, the when, the where, and the how. Let me give you an example. Who? Me. What? Root canal. When? Thursday at 3. Where? The dentist office. How? Get in the dentist chair, tilt my head back, get a shot, and have the worst afternoon of my life. We do things like getting root canals because we know we should, but it actually happens because we take the necessary steps to fill in all of those blanks. So what if we got into the habit of filling in all those blanks to make sure fun happens in our marriage? Here's 3 things many marriage experts suggest that we should schedule in order to have fun and connection in our marriages. The first is to dialogue daily. Studies show that couples on average spend 4 minutes a day in meaningful conversation. Have you ever dedicated 4 minutes a day to anything that was successful? For those of us who are parents, what if we did that with our kids? Hey buddy, I'd love to take you to school, but it takes 8 minutes and I only have 4. What if we did that at work? Okay boss, you have me for 4 minutes. Make it count. It's called a job opening. Our marriage needs more than 4 minutes a day. So I want to stretch you just a bit by giving you a common marriage tip. Carve out 5 to 15 minutes a day for just the two of you. It may seem impossible, but it's not. You are the adult, so choose to do this. Here's an example of how. Who? You and your spouse. What? Dialogue daily for 15 minutes. 5 minutes to talk about the necessary details of the day. 5 minutes to talk about your high and low, and 5 minutes to talk about your funny of the day. When? Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Where? In your bedroom with the door closed. How? Put it on the calendar. Both of you show up on time. These few minutes a day, they really do matter. I know one couple who says they get their 15 minutes a day by hiding in the bathroom and locking the door. Whatever it takes. The next thing you need to schedule is date night. While a once-a-week date night or date morning or date lunch seems to be ideal, you can start with bi-monthly or even monthly date nights if you have to. Just start. Now let's see what that looks like in the real world. Who? You and your spouse. What? Date night. When? Thursday. Where? Your favorite restaurant. How? Get a babysitter, download a free date night app, and go. Now, you may be thinking, where does sex fit into all this? Well, if you're playful and fun and carving out moments for your us, then sex can be a byproduct of that, but not always. That's why many marriage experts suggest that married couples should schedule sex. Quick side note. Now I know if you're watching this at church or you're in a church small group, you may be thinking, we shouldn't be talking about sex in church. Personally, I think church environments are the perfect place to talk appropriately about sex because God created sex and He wants it to be great in the context of marriage. So don't feel weird. Okay, now back to scheduling sex. Some people tell me that scheduling seems to take away the spontaneity. My response, who cares? I'd rather be a nerd with fun and sex in my marriage than Mr. Spontaneous. Yes, most of us need to schedule sex. Why? Because we're busy. And oftentimes if we don't schedule it, it just won't happen. But maybe the most important reason to schedule sex is because in marriage, you typically have one spouse who is instantly ready for sex, while the other spouse needs time to warm up to the idea. In other words, one of you is a microwave, and the other one of you is a crock pot. Scheduling sex is like turning on the crock pot. So schedule it. Okay, what does that look like in the real world? Who? You and your spouse. What? Sex. When? Tuesday night between soccer practice and dinner. Where? Again, bedroom closet. How? I'll leave that up to you. Now, some of you don't need to schedule sex because you're having it all the time. But for the other 90% of us, a little scheduling is a good thing. Also, I'm not suggesting that sex should never be spontaneous. It should. But scheduling it never hurts, and it almost always helps. After I spoke on this topic at an event, one couple wrote me and said, "We've officially determined that Saturday is sex day." It's kind of a joke, but we hardly ever miss a Saturday. This helps us to go ahead and start heating up the crock pot. So bottom line, here's the question. What's the difference between couples who have fun and enjoy each other sexually and those who don't? Those that do, make time for it. And if that means scheduling it, why not? And there's one more thing that I want to say about fun. Fun just isn't about being fun during the times that you have allotted for it. When it comes to having serious fun, we have to decide personally as individuals to be fun. Are you fun with your spouse? Do you laugh? Do you smile? Do you flirt? Or are you always serious, stressed out, or grouchy? As spouses, we have to make the decision to be fun. And if your spouse is trying to be fun back. Laugh at jokes that aren't funny. Encourage some silliness and pranks and wrestling and tickling or whatever it is that's fun for your us. Because having serious fun is not extra for your marriage. It's essential. So choose to be fun. Talk, laugh, date, make time for sex, because getting into the habit of having serious fun can't wait.